when we think about the future, we're very long-term investors. So we think about things in terms of big structural trends and where we want to put our money now that's going to be, valuable in future. And we call these the 3Ds: digitization, decarbonization, and decentralization. So investing against the decarbonization of the world, we're investing heavily into the renewables sector and also into the energy transition. And so I think that's where we're putting a lot of our capital these days. So ESG, environment, social, and governance, is one of the critical risks that we think about, right? So I think about ESG along the same lines as other risks, like counterparty risk, interest rate risk. And so it's really embedded into everything that we do. So when we find a deal, we assess it on an ESG risk basis. It's in our investment committee. We have a very detailed checklist that we follow. And it's something we think about in terms of the very long term, in terms of managing our assets as well. So in terms of the bigger challenges facing the industry right now, I'd say there's a couple. First off, it's the world is awash, right, with capital at the moment. So with all the stimulus that's happened, and also people were generally underallocated to infrastructure, we see it being a hugely competitive environment. So we call this the deployment challenge. Like, how do you actually get capital into the ground? The beauty of the deployment challenge is you really need to know how to find the deals, right? And not just any deals, right? Because how to find good deals, deals that are going to be valuable in many years' time. So I'd say that's one of the issues. The second issue is just the changing landscape, right? Infrastructure 10 years ago was relatively known, and I'd say, toll roads, power plants, everyone sort of understood what infrastructure is. Given the explosion and also the energy transition, there's lots of different new asset types, right? So you need to partner with people who really understand where the world's moving. Yeah, so the United States is somewhere where we've deployed a huge amount of our capital, both on the equity and the debt side. I'd say the US needs a lot more infrastructure. And, as we all talk about, the American Society of Engineers rated it a D, which is depressing. So we have always been, backing the investment of more infrastructure here. We've done a lot of deals on the energy side. So we've done a huge amount of renewables investing here in the US, and I'd say that's going to continue. We've also done a lot on the debt side. And I think with the infrastructure bill, which is coming out, both in terms of fiber to the home, we see as another huge area, and we're also doing carbon sequestration deals. One of the big things that we're focused on is extracting more carbon from the air than we're emitting. Obviously, that's the move to net zero, which we're hearing a lot about, and that is something that we're investing in at the moment in the US.